Hey, everybody. It is 7:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and today is February the 5th, 2026. Hey, Lisa, you're the first one I see. I'm going to try and tackle this subject about the electromagnetic background level, and I'm going to be stumbling through it because it's new information and I'm trying to grasp it, and I hope that I am understanding it correctly. But anyway you look at it, it's very intriguing. Very, very intriguing. Hey, everybody. Hey. I see everyone is finding me and coming online. Okay. And by the way, Chipper is here. You barely see him probably. It's kind of dark. I keep it this way. I enjoy mood lighting, twinkle lights here in my living room in the evening when I'm just sitting around hanging out and so forth. It's very calming. Maybe it has something to do with me being able to drop off to sleep instantly too. You know, all that blue light they talk about, the frequencies, but then again, I'm getting zapped by it from my iPad here. I don't know. Okay, hey, y'all. Oh, Chipper, Lisa says hi. Okay. I just ate some supper. I may be clearing my throat a little bit. Hope not too much. I'm going to tackle this, and I hope I will make some sense, and I hope I'll be correct in what I'm sharing with you and how I'm understanding it. Okay, here is the electromagnetic, let me enlarge, that way it's clear. Electromagnetic background level. This is on the Tomsk University Russian Schumann resonance chart. And we're looking at the bottom one here. There have been some people who've been confused about this and have informed me I've been incorrect, but they didn't even know that chart existed, apparently. There's a lot to understand here, to say the least. I've been doing this a long time, but I'm still an amateur and I'm learning. So here we have the Tomsk Russian Schumann resonance charts. This is a live feed, and it's the Schumann resonances, and basically it takes all these different charts and the frequencies that are being observed, representing everything inside the atmosphere, from the crust of the earth all the way up to the very top of our atmosphere, which is the ionosphere. And all the dips and peaking and all that happens all comes together into the Schumann resonance, which is sort of a averaging and bringing together all of them to a baseline. And we watch the amplitude a lot, but let me get off of this because we've got plenty to cover without me doing a rundown on this. This is a spectrogram. That's when we watch the most. This is amplitude. This is where I get the power when I post about power. This is frequencies. This is the Q factor. And this is the electromagnetic background level chart. And this is what has changed so much recently. This one right here, let me go in a little tighter. You see, this is really wide. That's a lot bigger than it used to be. Taller, wider, brighter, etc. But look at that, and then look at this. See how this has got spaces in it? This is solid. It's like twice as wide as this one. Wow, huh? And this just happened today. This is the most recent right here. So let's take a little trip, shall we? I looked up online to see what a search would show me about the electromagnetic background level, and it was very confusing. I even went and had AI on DuckDuckGo, which is the one that I tend to use, do a little work for me. Now, what I just did on this app, the Schumann Resonance app, Quick Schumann Check, is I came here to this little thing. The guy who does this app has made some changes, and this is part of the way you go at it. So come over here now, and this is going to show up. I'm going to Resources. And here you see a list of different things that show the different resources happening. Let's go down here, and let's go to Sources. And there it is. There's the Tomsk, Russia link to go to the actual site. This is one way to get there, or just take note of that address, sos70.ru. Let's go ahead and drop over here. I used to watch this a whole lot. I guess I should rearrange this. I'm cramping myself trying to do it where I had it positioned. Okay. Let me get things situated here. Here we are. This is what it looks like. Right now, it has changed tremendously over the years. And one of the things you'll find is it will be in Russian, as you can see right here, which it's hard to navigate when it's in Russian. Now, this is on my iPad, so it has a certain look to it, but it's basically the same. Take note of the things across the top, but especially this. See this little symbol right there? We're going to touch that. And this is how you translate to English. And sometimes it's a little touchy. But if you keep messing with it, it will eventually change over. Chipper is in a whimpery, cute sounding little noise mood tonight. If you hear noises over here, it's him being cute. They have all kinds of dating ads, and I guess they think everyone that comes to their site is a guy. So it's all women they're showing. It's very weird. But anyway, there are lots of ads. They didn't used to have ads at all, but now they are monetizing this, and I guess that's certainly understandable. Okay. Here's the general look of it. We're going to just skip right through. You can see right here it says Schumann resonances and then electromagnetic background. That's what we're going to mainly look at. If you want to look at all the different ones, you'd go to Schumann resonances. Let's just skip straight to the electromagnetic background. Now let's start with radio broadcasting. Let's see what they have to say about that. Okay. What is this? Well, I don't think that's what we want, so we're just going to go through this. I'm just showing you all what you're going to hit when you come in here. Now, let's go to this other one, which is MD, MS, and HFEM background. And here's our chart. Okay. What did they say about it? Earlier, I had to fight ads on my iPhone. That's where I looked at it. I had to continually remove ads because it was actually covering what I was trying to read and see. So let me just read to you what it says. Here's a sonogram. In parentheses, dependence on local time and the electromagnetic background level, close parentheses, in the range of up to 30 millihertz in decibels, obtained over the past 3 days in Tomsk. The amplitude intensity gradations are shown to the right of the graph. And there it is. Okay. Now, the level, there's all kinds of ads and games on here. The level of EM background is determined by the work of those broadcasting facilities that broadcast to the Tomsk region 70. This is a world broadcasting network. Radio amateurs, radio pirates, and other services that use shortwave and long-wave communication. Now, I went through and I read quite a bit of this. I highlighted this. Let's go ahead and do it. And then we come here, and it tells you the same thing. And it talks about how this is monitored and internationally agreed by a United Nations agency known as International Telecommunication Union. And all countries must adhere to these rules. However, not all stations adhere to the agreed bands, and goes through some of them operate on the out bands, they call them, just outside of the approved bands. Now, basically, this is something that would be used by radio amateur operators, like ham operators and stuff like that. But the thing that I feel like I got out of this, and I hope I am correct, what stood out to me is this is showing not just lightning and different things like that many of the other Schumann resonance charts take up on and pick up on. This apparently is also registering what it says here, which is radio amateurs, World Broadcasting Network, radio amateurs, radio pirates, and other services that use shortwave and longwave communication. Now, I may be incorrect, and if I am, I want someone out there who's an expert to straighten me out. What I think I picked up from that is this is showing a lot of human activity. This is showing people who are doing radio work. And yes, all of that influences us and affects us. Like a radio wave is really quite amazing. I didn't realize this until a few years ago. Radio waves can go through just about everything. It can go through just tons of concrete. It can go through all kinds of materials and distances. Radio waves are incredibly powerful in that way. Now, what's notable to me is, look at what it looks like now. This is not what this looked like a week ago. Okay, let's go here now into my Facebook. Let's go to my page. And here we are. Did you all hear Chipper sighing and moaning over here? He's such a drama king. He's so cute. Okay. Oh, there we are live. Okay, and that's where I said I was going to be talking about this. Here's what's happening on the... And notice I was pointing to it here also. Okay. I posted on it and I showed what it used to look like. I had to go back. There it is. Okay. This is what I posted yesterday at 8:18 p.m. This is now, I showed, And this is what it used to look like. I went back in my photos. I've had to wipe out a lot of my photos because my phone and all is so overloaded with images. I was not able to do what I needed to do for the Schumann page without wiping a bunch out. So I went back to September and I found this. This is the same chart, y'all. That doesn't look anything like it, really, does it? How sparse this is. How very little that happened to have a black spike in it, but that's not what we're looking at. Notice how much blue is at the top. Notice how spaced out these are. Notice how little orangey, ambery color is in here. No red at all, really. Look at how much blue is showing. And then look at this. There's hardly any blue showing at the top, and it's in between these spikes. And look how thick it is. It's dense, and it has red, which is really intense. The colors never want to show up right when I try and show this online. This is the blue that goes to a teal type blue, but then this is lime green, and it just doesn't show it. It just doesn't represent lime green, and then yellow, orange, and up to red, or very red, and then up to white. Look how much red is on here. That's intense. Intense and high frequency stuff. So it's not only high frequency, it's denser, it's higher, it's wider, it's blocking out the background. This is a big difference. And I had posted this, like say, on the 4th, and I had taken note, I don't know how far back we'd have to go, I had taken note of how different it looked. Let's see, I would say it was within a week ago. And I noted it here. Intense. Intense, really changing. I guess the way I am made, I'm able to see changes and shifts. And I notice things that are out of the ordinary. But you have to know what ordinary looks like to be able to do that. And as you keep watching these charts, you'll be able to do it if you can't already. Here we were looking at black spikes that showed up on the chart. And notice right where the black spikes happen, that's when this big shift occurred. So what's the date on this? This was on the 2nd. Okay. Wow, it's really fresh and really new. This being the 5th, 2, 3, 4, 5, so only about 4 days this has been happening. But look, we went from here to that. And now we're up here at, where's the freshest one? This. Okay, this, what stood out to me is, this is showing us human activity. Why has it increased so much? Why are there so many radio frequencies? How come there's so much shortwave activity? Whatever all this is made of. And compared to the other things on the chart, as far as the other things on the Schumann resonance, let's look at where I put it, showed it earlier. We are not seeing a similar rise in the other charts. So this, if I'm correct, if I'm understanding it correctly, this is human activity. This is man-made, human-made frequencies. Why is it so increased right now? I find this very, very intriguing. There's so many things happening right now, things I cannot talk about live or in any way on Facebook, or I would get disappeared. I mean, from being on here. I try to avoid subjects that are controversial. It doesn't matter. I still seem to cause a ruckus with all this love and peace stuff. And our tribe, we are powerful, apparently. Apparently really powerful. And I don't want to talk about anything here that I would really like to talk about. I will tell you there's just so much happening. It's not just the United States by any means. It is global. We are really seeing the undoing of evil. We're seeing the undoing of the underpinning of evil systems and programs and organizations and so forth and so on. This is what makes where we are living and how we're living 3D. Third density is filled with lack, need, want, illness, oppression, fear, anxiety, grief, sickness. Did I mention that one already? It's full of all the things that have created chaos and negative stuff here. If everyone had no lack, if everyone had an abundance and everything that they needed as far as food and whatever necessities of life, etc., even into just wants of life, we wouldn't have anybody stealing anything or jealous about others having something, because everyone would realize there's an abundance. There's more than enough for everyone. And in that place, there would be no theft. There would be no criminals. And in 5D, which is what we often refer to, fifth density, which is sort of like heaven on earth, in 5D, people would be whole. W-H-O-L-E. We would be whole inside and outside, our whole beings. We wouldn't, when we're shot on Carillion photography, we wouldn't look like we had holes in our auras and horrible dark spots and lack and so forth. People would be whole. That's where we're heading. And when people are whole and they understand that we're all joined together and we're all one, then we will treat each other much, much differently. If it's understood that we are one, we're like one organism. We're all part of this field. We're connected. You can't hurt me and not hurt yourself. One of us can't suffer without it influencing everyone in some way. And the shadows are so funny. They happen right above my eyebrow here. See, there's nothing there. But it looks like there is. So 5D is a place of fulfillment, abundance, health, strength, wholeness. And in that wholeness, there is no need for sickness. Sickness comes from wrong thinking, wrong feeling, not understanding, having fear and anxiety, and all the things that people do to one another that are wrong and harmful. And when we're whole, all that would stop because people would understand and think clearly. Love, not the ushy-gushy stuff that can actually be filled with selfishness. Love, true love, cannot be selfish. What I'm talking about is that divine unconditional love. It wants good for everyone. It wants everyone to reach their highest, tallest, and best capacity. Understanding that we can rejoice with one another when we excel because we're all joined and we're not filled with fear and freaking out about everything being all about us. That comes out of that lack mentality, which is wrong thinking. It's part of the brokenness that has cursed and plagued our world. But as this root system that's under the surface and cannot really be seen is being removed, being eradicated, being exposed, because we'll have to see it. We have to understand what was. It's part of it being replaced with what is good and right. It's hard though, isn't it? And as we move through this time, we must remember this is a jailbreak. It's been said that Earth is a prison planet and we have been overtaken by enemies. And you can look at all religious documents and scriptures and ancient beliefs, and there's always an enemy that came and invaded and took from us, and we forgot who we were. And we entered into this 3D mess. It's time for us to be totally restored. I believe our beloved Creator, God, Source, it is time. And this lover of us, the one who created us that we came from, and the angelic beings, whether you want to call them ETs or angelic beings, bottom line is they're not from here. So they are extraterrestrial, not of Earth. All of this is working towards bringing this very positive result. But it's the undoing of thousands and thousands of years of mess. And it can't be done totally openly, or the enemy would understand what was happening to it, and it would perhaps push against worse. But you know what? This has been prophesied over and over and over in so many different places. This is coming down, and it's coming down right now. Change is exciting, but it's also challenging. And I look at this chart, and I wonder, what in the world is going on? What kind of communications are in the works? What kind of things are being transmitted? And what kind of frequencies are being pushed through? What kind of hidden and behind the scene communications are happening? Many of you all use frequencies to help yourselves deal with certain symptoms. You know, listen to the bells and the sounds of rain and all those different things that the binaural beats, I think it's called. I am not surprised that there's so much zooming through our atmosphere right now. Many are trying to influence, and it's not just happening on one level, it's happening on many. And when I look at this, I think, wow, what is happening? What is going on? Now, here's the thing. Many of us have been through a lot. And when I share with people that I have this tribe, this family, this group, this Facebook page of extremely unique, gifted sensitives, people who sense things and can feel things and are empathic, many of you. And I try to explain what kind of people we are. If they're not like us, they don't understand. They may have knowledge that people like us exist. But you know, I said to some people the other day, with all the things I have been through, which I rarely talk about some of the worst stuff with you all, I have nearly died many, many times in my lifetime. I have been through horrendous things, as many of you have too. But you know what? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You know that song? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. La 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 la. I hope Chipper left on that one. He said, forget this. She starts singing. Out of here. It's true. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, wiser, more compassionate, more empathetic, have more empathy for people. Because, you know, if you've never been through anything really, you can't relate to people who have. And I said to these people, if I did not do the best I can to keep a positive attitude, to keep my heart believing and hoping and expecting and knowing that all this can change like that. Like I told y'all, in the quantum world, the world of spiritual things, this world of spirit, faith, whatever you want to say, things happen like that. I've seen tumors disappear. I was laying hands and praying for people. A tumor the size of a fist literally disappeared, and fresh new skin was there in a matter of about 4 minutes. And there were many witnesses. I was actually teaching at this particular place in the New England area. In the quantum world, in the world of the spirit, in the world of faith and where you believe and your expectations, your intentions, your awareness of your oneness with, I get so tired of giving a list of names, but I really don't want to offend anybody, so I do it all the time. With God, with Prime Creator, with Spirit, with love. In that oneness, we're whole and we have access to everything, including healing, including miracles. Everything can change in a moment, beloved. And I said to these people, if I did not keep a positive attitude, and if I didn't guard my heart and watch over in my heart and in my mind and my emotions, if I didn't keep guard and watch and keep a discipline over me, I would die. Bottom line, there's too much sometimes. I'm just going to say it. I have visits from things. My mentor was like this. And before he went on to heaven, he laid his hands on me and he passed over to me what he had and asked the Lord to give me anything else I might need if I face things that he had never seen before. It's called passing on a mantle. It's an amazing thing. And people used to literally come to town and seek him out. Famous people. People who, you know, you might see on TV, who had written best-selling books, etc., etc. Politicians, etc., would come and visit him. Why? Because he was somebody in the spirit. And he also got visited by beings and spirits, especially at night. And I was what they called an armor bearer. I watched over him, I guarded him, I protected him. I was available 24/7 to be awakened or to be alerted or to hear or to know what was going on with him, and then step into the place of an intercessor on his behalf. Well, when he passed what he had over to me, I started getting those visits. That's why it's so important to know your authority. That's why it's so important to understand the power of the name above every name that is named. It's important. And it's been years since it's happened, because I have shared with you all the banishing proclamation, I call it, which will get rid of anything that is harmful in a matter of moments. Boom, it's gone. No fight, no kickback. But before that, it was unusual for me to waken in the middle of the night. And I had been targeted by multiple dark entities. They literally tried to take me out in my sleep. You know, try to mess with me, heart failure, crazy things like that. And if I did not know what I know, if I did not understand who my king is, if I didn't know who my source is, if I didn't understand that oneness and love, I would be dead. And all of us are learning, aren't we? We're learning every day. And it's powerful. Every time you go through a battle or a difficulty or a challenge, you have a new notch in your belt. You got new weaponry that's available to you. You know things and you understand things, and you will never be hoodwinked by that again. Because now you know. You know. And what you know cannot be taken from you. And it means power. So encourage your hearts, beloved. Encourage your hearts. Guard your thoughts and your emotions. Guard your feelings. Be careful what comes out of your mouth gate. Be careful what you let go into your ear gates and your eye gates and your heart in general. Guard it. Put a watch over your heart and a guard over your tongue. Because this thing, this tongue, your words are amazingly powerful and creative. And that's on the good side too. You must think like, I jokingly say, think like you're a high-level James Bond type person or a soldier. On a mission, you don't foolishly blabber things. You don't take the word of just everybody. You're constantly watching and listening to the Spirit. Constantly listening to know, to understand what you cannot know in the natural, but where you will be on top of it, aware of it and ready for it. And that is how we sharpen our spiritual senses, isn't it? We're living in very exciting days. Very, very exciting days. Your attitude is huge. Keep as positive as you can. Don't be fake, be real. But choose light. Choose life. Choose to look for the good and expect it. Teach yourself, train yourself to do that. It can be all the difference in success and failure and life and death, and whether we ascend into the next whatever, quickly, slowly, or not at all. We say we're aligning ourselves with frequencies. Yes, that's one way to think about it. Everything is a frequency. Even rocks have frequencies. And what we align ourselves to is what will be drawn to us and is what we will become. So I say to you all, and I'm not just whistling Dixie, that's an old saying. I say, thank you, beloved Shumanites, K-N-I-G-H-T. Thank you for holding that high frequency of divine, unconditional, capital L-O-V-E. We really are changing our world. The world, our families, our friends, our neighbors, our cities, our countries, our world needs us to be who we can be. We're all connected. If we rise, so will they. So, beloved, I hope that was useful. This right here is what triggered the live broadcast tonight. And what it seems to represent, the change in the energetics and what is flying through the air through radio waves and electricity and frequencies, it is changing significantly. I mean, let's get real. We have had 6 X-flares since Sunday. Today is the first day, I guess, we haven't had an X-flare. Wow. But we've had continual M-class flares. We're up to 67, I think. I wrote that. 67. Yeah. 67 big solar flares, M-class flares and above. And of course, if you're new, let me point out, in the area of solar flares, you go from the very lowest is AB, and you move to C's, C class, to M class and X class. M and X are really powerful, strong flares, and we've been living in this world. 67 M and X class flares in the last few days. Wow. Pretty crazy, isn't it? It's amazing. It's just one more sign of this wonderful, amazing world that we are living in. Let's take a quick look. I'm going to leave here and go back. Coming here, going back to home. And here's that chart we've been looking at. And here is the spectrogram. Nothing to knock our socks off there, but let's look at Guyana. Oh yeah, look at that. Woo, hold on to your horses. Fasten your seatbelt. The energies are flying. flying, flying, flying. Look up here. Look at the geophone. It's supposed to be a blue background with other things in front of it. You hardly see the blue so much. And here, this is a dark blue background, and red is the most intense. And look at it. And it's spanning. Right over here, you see the hertz. Okay? It starts at 0 and goes up to 105. And it is way off the chart, way past 105, you can tell. If that was a little skinny line, it wouldn't be strong, but those are thick lines going right out the top. This is high energy, high power, and it is fodder for our dreams. It's fuel for our intentions. It is power for our manifestations. It is it is spiritual power from source. It's time to break out of the prison planet. Hold your attitude. Carry your thoughts, intentions, direct them. And ride these waves. And if you get a headache, don't just be miserable. Remember, you can ground yourself. You can walk outside even if it's cold and go barefoot. But the best way would be put the palms of your hands against the trunk of a tree for a minute or two. Let that energy be drained out and come to earth energy level. Make sure you're hydrated. Do the heart-brain coherence meditation, which hooks you into the heart field of the quantum field of total unlimited possibilities. All of your symptoms can shift in a moment doing that, and it is scientifically proven. Don't just suffer, beloved. Do all that stuff. That's all those things that I post over and over and over. And hold your ground. And if you can't shake it, the symptoms and the feelings, then just tell yourself. Tell yourself, this will pass. This will let up. This will not go on forever. We're not going through this for nothing. We're going someplace really good. 5D. Talk to yourself like little David before the giant Goliath. He went over his past victories. He said, "You, giant." He said other things too, which had a lot of power and meaning to it. He said, "You will be like the lion and the bear." When I was watching over my sheep in the field at night, the lion came and then the bear came, 2 different occasions. And I took that lion by the beard of its chin and I cut its head off. In other words, he saved his sheep and he saved his own life. And he was recounting his past victories, how he overcame the giants in his life. And we have different kinds of giants, don't we? We don't have those kind. Not that I know of. I mean, maybe some of you do, but I haven't seen anybody that's towering over me at 9, 10, 11, 12 feet. Not in the natural. Yes, in the spirit I've seen them. But remember, whatever is your giant, what is challenging you? What is it you're dealing with? Is it anxiety? Is it what? Fear? Whatever it is, whatever's challenging you, that's your giant. So have a talk with it and with yourself and say, look here, you fear, you bills, you broken relationships, you whatever, you health issues, you will be like the lion and the bear. You will be like the other giants that I have faced down, and I am still here and they're gone. And I'm stronger and they're not. Have a talk with yourself. Encourage yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be loving to yourself. Don't ever talk trash to yourself. Don't ever call yourself bad names or put yourself down. Good heavens. Don't do it. Don't do it. We can't afford it. There's some things, I tell people this, I can't afford that. That costs way too much. And it will bring things into my life I don't want to have to try and get over. So I watch my tone. I watch my thoughts. I watch my feelings. And you know, when you observe things and you see it, once you recognize it, that's the biggest part of the battle. Yeah. So be encouraged, beloved. And let's do the heart brain coherence meditation together right now. We're going to do it quick. You ready? Touch your heart area. Take a deep breath. Imagine you're breathing in through the heart area and out through the heart area. Just imagine that. Ready? Breathe in. And out. Now this time just let go of everything when you breathe out. Breathe in through the heart area. Now think of something you're really grateful for. Whether it's somebody, something, your pets, your home. My day of my spiritual awakening when I met unconditional love. Think of that thing you're really grateful for and begin to think about that as we breathe in and out from the heart. And let your heart feel the gratitude. And we'll do this for 3 minutes. And during this time, first of all, check your symptoms. Check how you're feeling. If you got any anxiety going, don't be surprised if at the end of this you have peace and the feeling of incredible love, bliss, and perhaps oneness with one another, that your heart's not flip-flopping anymore, headache's gone, etc., etc. Let's just go here and let happen whatever will happen. And it's stronger when we do it together. So I will watch the clock and I'll let you know when the 3 minutes is up. Are you ready? Breathing in and out from the heart. Thinking and letting yourself feel gratitude. So let us begin. Ooh, I can already feel this. Remember that thing. Thank you. Some of you are receiving healing right now. Saw it and felt it. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I can feel you all out there. There's no distance or time or space in the spirit. We are one. You can feel my pulse in all my fingertips right now. Coherence. Thank you. Just a little bit longer. Okay. Now, take an assessment. How are you now? Did you experience anything good during that time? Something different? Did you feel the love, the peace, the bliss? Are your physical symptoms any different than they were? Is your heart any different? If you had anxiety going on, do you have peace now? If you did experience something, I'd love to read about it in the comments. I'd love it if you'd share it. So, beloved, I love you. I do. I love you all. And I thank you for your love for me. And it's real and it's significant. Keep your hearts encouraged. No matter what comes before us, we are connected to the one that is all power and love. There is no lack. We are loved. We are loved. Ooh-wee. Oh. I got chills running all through me. Energy running down. Spiritual chills. Like, I don't know how to describe what I'm feeling right now. Oh, I want to laugh. I want to cry. Yes, Chipper has come and joined us. He loves the heart brain coherence meditation. Don't you, boy? Whew. My goodness. I'm so glad to be alive in these days. I'm so glad to be able to experience this. I'm so glad for the trials that didn't kill me, but only made me stronger. I am so glad. I'm so glad for you all. Oh, can you tell I'm not wanting to go? Yeah, I like bliss. I like ecstasy. I like being with you all. Chipper likes it too, don't you, boy? He's cuddled up. He's like, oh, I love this vibe. Angels all around us. Love it. Lord, if you'd let them see some of them. My goodness. I'm looking forward to hearing what some of you have experienced. I'm just an open window for you. I'm not hiding anything. Basically, I'm a fairly reserved person, but when it comes to you all in these times together, no. Open book. Wow. You know, the Lord told me He had put codes in my eyes, codes on my face and in my words, the sound of my voice, codes that would speak straight to your heart and your spirit, that you would receive things, gifts of beauty and love, straight from this one that I love, and that our time together would be synergistic. That we, when we're together, because we've entered into this place of this awesome field of possibilities, we become stronger just from being together. So remember, beloved, we're not going through all of this for nothing. We're going someplace really good. 5D. Love you.